All right, let's start with the Greg Norman letter. We're 12 days removed from Norman sending it. What was your first reaction when you saw it?
Well, I received the letter at the same time that everyone else received the letter, and I thought that was an interesting way to go about it. But to me, read the contents of the letter, and I think it's important for everyone to know that the PGA Tour, which is 50 plus years in existence, the rules and regulations of the PGA Tour have been written by the players for the players.
Jay Monahan going very FUBU for us, by us.
And we know our regs inside and out. We're confident in them, and I'm confident in my ability to administer them. So to me, it was, I'm focused on our business and the things that we control. And couldn't be more excited about where we are and where we're headed.
Have you spoken, whether formally or informally, with Greg?
I'm not.
Would you like to?
No, I think we're both going down our own paths. I'm focused on the PGA Tour and what we can do to continue to grow our business, and they're going about things trying to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish.
Question in the letter, in that first paragraph, it says lifetime bans in there. Lee Westwood said in the players' meeting that you didn't use that term. Can you set the record straight? What would the punishment be if a player defected?
Well, Mike, it's hard to respond to scenarios about a league that doesn't exist. And so, I think if a player were to join another league, they've made a choice to join that league and not participate on this tour.
The point that Jay Monahan is making is consistent with the laws of physics.
And so I don't think it's reasonable to expect that you could cash in on the benefits of the PGA Tour while at the same time look to dismantle your organization from the inside. So the specifics of our regs say that a player that causes financial or reputational harm to the PGA Tour faces fine, suspension, or disbarment. That's clear. It's in black and white. Those have been the rules for as long as the tour has been in existence.
Is that at your discretion as commissioner?
It is.
There was one line in the letter that said, "This is just the beginning, it's certainly not the end." How did you take that?
It's just the beginning for the PGA Tour.
This part made me laugh. Instead of addressing Greg Norman's intensity and focus on making this tour happen no matter what, Jay Monahan spins it and uses the word beginning and then inserts PGA Tour around it. So now he's focusing on a new beginning for the PGA Tour. People, you can see through this, right?
I mean, I look at the future that we have, and as we come into 22, the fact that NBC Golf Channel, CBS, ESPN+, Discovery, and we've gone through the record number of title sponsor renewals over the past 2 years, extended longer term than we've ever been before. Our players have spoken. And they have expressed their loyalty and commitment to this organization. And with all that as backdrop, to me, it's all about what are we going to create going forward. As good as things are today, I have a vision and a purview into what they can be in the future, and that's what excites me. And candidly, so many of our players had already spoken and had made their loyalty and made their commitments known. And so, to me, having the support of our players and also recognizing that it's time to move on, it was the right message to deliver on that night.
When the ties to Saudi Arabia with Phil Mickelson's quotes, and I'll get to Phil in a minute, when those came up, there entered the conversation, the term sports washing entered the conversation, and that's something that we became very familiar with in China. Will you look at the PGA Tour's relationship with China as you go forward here?
Let's see if we can get a straight answer out of Jay on the China issue.
In the next 6, 12, 18 months?
Well, we haven't, to your point, we haven't been able to play in China for 2 years because of health and safety as well as travel restrictions.
And here comes the sidestepping.
And right now, it's unclear when we would be able to return.
Basically, knowing China's violations of basic human rights, will the PGA Tour return?
And the way that we've been present in China is with WGC, HSBC champions, and PGA Tour China. And so when it's clear that we can play, I think you have to look at the overall geopolitical environment and take that into account as you think about where you're going to play and the manner in which you're going to do it. But at this point, we don't have that possibility in China.
Interesting way to play it, Jay Monahan. You've been playing in China for many, many years now. There's always been the Uyghur issue and the Nike sweatshops in China issue. So instead of addressing the past or what's already continuing on to the future, you just say, hey, we can't tell what it's going to be like in the future, and since we can't play there now, I'm not going to address it now.
If he wanted to play here this week, could he have played?
No, he chose to step away to be able to spend the time to reflect, so it's moot.
But that's not something that the tour had a stop sign up that you can't play here this week?
There's no stop sign up.
That long pause is literally Jay Monahan thinking, was there a stop sign up? And then realizing there was no stop sign, he definitively answers, nope, no stop sign.
When he's ready to have a conversation, we'll have a conversation. But I would never close the door on anybody. And while I might be very disappointed in what he said, at the end of the day, he's also given an awful lot to this organization and this game.
What's your message to the golf fan out there who wonders what's the health and state of the PGA Tour as we get set for your flagship tournament here?
PGA Tour is the strongest it's ever been, and it's going to grow faster over the next 10 years than it has at any other point in its history. And we got the greatest players in the world who are committed to this tour. And there's no limit to what can be accomplished, not only as a PGA Tour, but for this game.
And you believe they're committed to this tour?
I believe it, and I know it. Been an unfortunate week that was created by some unfortunate decisions. Those decisions being players choosing to violate our tournament regulations, and me then sending out a communication or communicating to our members something that I never want to communicate to our members. But it's my job to protect, defend, and celebrate our loyal PGA Tour members, our partners, and our fans. And that's exactly what I did. And I don't think it was a surprise to anybody, given how clear I had been about how we were going to handle this situation.
With the suspensions that you issued on Thursday, I think there's so many questions here people have. One of them most prominently is some people don't understand why the players can't do both. Why can't they play on the PGA Tour and at the same time play the LIV Golf events, if they're a member or otherwise?
Well, I guess I would answer the question by asking a question.
When you answer a question by asking a question, you never answer the original question. This guy's ability to spin things around is unbelievable.
And that is, why do they need us so badly?
Is this a gaslighting seminar? He should give a TED talk on how to gaslight people. You just had Phil Mickelson leave for $200 million, Dustin Johnson $125 million, Bryson $100 million, and now you reverse and say, why do you need us so badly?
Because those players have chosen to sign multi-year lucrative contracts to play in a series of exhibition matches against the same players over and over again. You look at that versus what we see here today, and that's why they need us so badly.
I have no idea what he's talking about at this point. If you understand, if you can translate this somehow, please put it in the comment section. Because he was all over the place there, but he came to a powerful conclusion of that's why they need us so badly.
Got true, pure competition the best players in the world here at the RBC Canadian Open, with millions of fans watching. And in this game, it's true and pure competition that creates the profile and the presence of the world's greatest players. And
Alex, what are P words for 200, please? I mean, I half expected him to start just going, Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers, or however it goes.
that's why they need us. That's what we do. But we're not going to allow players to free ride off of our loyal members, the best players in the world.
Okay, some would say then why, as recently as February, there was an event in Saudi Arabia and you granted permission for players to be able to compete in that event.
What I found interesting about that event that Harold Varner won was that there were actually more strength of field official world golf ranking points in that event than at the concurrent PGA Tour event at Pebble Beach. Also, what's interesting is that Harold Varner is also going to the LIV Tour.
And can you explain why this is any different than that?
Well, they are two different things. That the Saudi International was an individual event recognized by a sanctioned tour. The series is a group of events predominantly based in North America. So when you look at that, you realize that a player would not be able to fulfill their responsibilities as a member.
Is this correct? I was under the impression that PGA Tour players only had to play in 15 tournaments per year, and the LIV Tour would be maybe 8 to 10 tournaments. A year has 52 weeks.
And so they're two very distinctly different things. And again, I'll go to what I just said. In protecting our loyal members, we can't allow players to free ride off of them.
Okay, some have called it the Saudi Golf League instead of the LIV Golf Series. Is how big of an issue is it where the money is coming from as far as that tour?
Yeah. Well, it's not an issue for me. Because I don't work for the Saudi Arabian government. But it probably is an issue for players that chose to go and take that money. And I think you have to ask yourself the question, Jim, why? Why is this group spending so much money, billions of dollars, recruiting players and chasing a concept with no possibility of a return? At the same time, there's been a lot of question, a lot of comments about growth of the game. And I ask, how is this good for the game that we love?
He brings up why and how. In a later interview, he'll bring up who, what, when. All the questions.